That report. Let's come back to our interview. We're still focusing on tourism and how the sector is faring on. And earlier on, Jacqueline, you were talking about some of the challenges you're facing, especially keeping up with the trends that are being witnessed within the sector. Aside from talking about modern hotels and the Airbnbs that are there, what are you doing to ensure that you acclimatize with the situation so that at the end of the day, the sector doesn't suffer?
We are trying to engage local investors more and teaching them, giving them workshops that will enhance their understanding when it comes to hotel architecture and development. And also the other challenges I think they are having is connecting with the proper investment. You see, the government does not offer tourism fund anymore. And hotel development are really expensive. So people have the land to do the developments, people have the willingness, but the government also lacks a lot to give support to these local investors. So because you go to KBC, they will ask you for an amount upfront, and these really investors do not have. So we see we are cutting job creation by lack of support from government. I'm not really fighting the government, but I'm just saying they can be more involved in making Kenya better and creating hotels with a lot of experiences, because now we've shifted a lot from traditional tourism to unconventional tourism. So we need to do hotels that are an experience within themselves. So what will make a tourist come to your hotel and stay for 1 week without getting bored? So these are the kind of things that you are teaching local investors. And also the leadership in tourism really have no knowledge about. So when we are marketing our country, we are doing very low kind of marketing and branding. So those are some of the challenges affecting the volume of the guests coming into Kenya.
If the fund then is no longer there, does it not warrant for you to collaborate? Because we've seen many companies within the tourism sector working in silos. Does that, given that these issues need to be tackled in a collaborative manner, does it not warrant for you guys to come together?
We do come together, and you also remember the banking system in Kenya is quite also very conventional. The interest rates are very high for the investors to take. So we are looking for ways where international investors can come in and help because the interest rates are also very low. And at least with the understanding of hotel consultancy, because you cannot do a hotel without the hotel consultant to lead you and to educate you on the trends that are, that are going on in the world globally. So if you lack the knowledge of the hotel trends, you'll be left wondering when the train took off.
Because you see, in the tourism sector, you majorly rely on foreigners who come into the country. What have you done locally to ensure even us can come to your hotels, to your various parks at an affordable fee?
Actually, we don't rely more on the foreign because you see, for a foreigner, they have to save for a long time to come to Kenya. But also the challenge is that our tourism products are very highly costed. And we want to work together with the government to make sure that the regulations really are looked into and the policies so that we can accommodate both the local and the international guests. Africans, we don't have a budget. When it's party time, it's party time. So for us to be able to continue creating more opportunities for the local domestic tourists, we need to come down with a proper package so that they feel that they can afford that. And also promote the inter-counties tourism. Like on a weekend, you can go to Nanyuki or Laikipia and experience the activities are there. You can go to Kisumu, you can go to, it's no longer more of the beach and the wildlife. We are really heavily reliant on the traditional tourism, which is not working for us anymore. Yes.
And of course, the reason why I was asking that, you saw how many Kenyans thronged to the parks and serene environments within our country. There are thousands because it was free. So do we require to do that more so that at least key stakeholders such as yourself can go to those areas and sensitize the public on the importance of ensuring that we support companies that are within our nations and in essence support even some of the environments we have?
I kindly support the government to look into those budgets, parks fees, to maybe reduce them and create more activities. There's a lot that can be done. Look at the 14 falls. I mean, it's just an empty falls that can can really have a lot of activities for the people to go. And you just charge a minimum fee, and it will really enhance the tourism in that area. Again, it's also very good to study the area and differentiate the types of tourism that an area has to offer. Let's take, for example, Naivasha. How many types of tourism do you know that Naivasha has to offer? And I'm asking you a question. I need an answer from you.
Few and far between.
Like how? Yes. So we have agri-tourism in Naivasha, we have sports tourism, we have adventure tourism, we have wildlife tourism, but you look at the community is not aware of this kind of tourism. So there's a way that the hotel developers can do a development and the architecture speaks to all these types of tourism so that you can be able to accommodate those 5 types of personas in your hotel. We also have event and conference in tourism in Naivasha. We need to do experimental types of buildings so that when people are engaging in these kind of meetings, they really don't feel bored. And even after the meetings are done, they still have a lot to showcase. Like, for example, themed walls, virtual walls. You can just look at a wall and see all the types of attractions that Kenya has to offer. So by the time you're done with the meeting, you already know what kind, where else that you want to go. Maybe it's the Mara, maybe it's Mombasa, you know. But we really have to diversify our portfolio when it comes to the types of tourisms that we are offering. Yes.
And flexibility, of course, is the key word there. And flexibility. Yes, is the key word there.
Yes.
But we're talking about what can be improved on, what is the dire need that is needed within the industry right now that can be improved on, at least to spur growth within the sector.
We need to look at the curriculum that is being taught in our colleges.
Yes.
We need to improve on our infrastructure. We need to do a more stronger marketing campaign to position Kenya globally. We need to train our people aligned with the trends that the globe has to offer. So those are the main challenges that we are looking at, and also the regulations with the tourism regulations authorities and all the stakeholders in the tourism industry. Yes.
And as we're coming to an end, is the sector offering jobs? Because that is the critical issues that we are currently facing as a country. Are there jobs? We have gone to school, studied in about tourism.
Yes.
When we leave school, are there jobs there?
There are jobs, multiple of jobs, because hospitality is very wide. We have clubs, we have restaurants, we have hotels, we have eco-lodges, we have theme parks, and all these things are being built every day. And tourism actually is the biggest employer in any country. So we have jobs. It's that maybe how we are aligned to get those jobs is maybe the crucial question to ask, but the jobs are there.
Maybe a final remarks, given that we have come to an end of this conversation.
Thank you for hosting me, and I am requesting the government to collaborate with private investors so that we can take tourism to a higher note. Yes.
Thank you so much. That is Jacqueline Zhao, the Chief Executive Officer of Memo Hospitality, just joining us to inform us on how the sector is faring on. They've heard the information, given that they are the stakeholders on the ground. And of course, their plea there is to ensure even the tourism fund that was there can be reinstated so that it can cushion them. They're still recovering from the adverse effects of the pandemic. That concludes our interview.